Hey YouTube, I'm making this video on Thursday, August 11th, 2011, and the markets are calm. Ooh. Yes, on Monday, that was, a panic, and then on Tuesday, everything looked like it was coming back, and then on Wednesday, there was a global market freak out, and today, everything's coming back again. So I made money through the whole thing on Newmont, which is a very shady international gold mining thing. I've been always very ambivalent about it because their dealings in the third world are nothing to be proud of at all or to be associated with. Still, there was a frantic rush for gold, and my stock went woo! Now, as gold prices go down, I'm selling the profit I made on that. I'm selling, and so I'm pocketing the money. I have been squirreling away money into that company for ages, and it paid off in a big way. I mean, I'm still in a kind of state of euphoric ego shock over it, and yet I don't really need that money right now. I live frugally, but I mean, I'm not very materialistic, and I did want that stock just as a backup, if worse comes to worse, everyone's going to be going for gold, and I'm right there at the source, even though the source, I'm painfully aware, is a rotten source, a rotten karmic source. Bad energy. So I'm going to send the profit to most of the profit to Wisconsin, where they're fighting the teabagger government there. It's coming down so hard on teachers and other public employees and taking away their collective bargaining. They're really fighting back. They've become the heart and soul of the progressive movement. And my heart goes out to them, and I'm going to send my dirty money to them. But if I ever really need my dirty money to survive, I'm going to hold on to it. I have to tell you that, just being real with you. And it was just years of figuring stuff out and what would be the safest stock if everything went insane. And now I'm seeing like a little dress rehearsal of everybody's gone nuts. And money. Wow. I did all this in connection with Prophecies of Lucifer 5, where I talk about the demise of the Republican Party. And it also relates to Prophecies of Lucifer 4, where I forecast a comeback for the American economy, like a last hurrah, which hasn't happened yet. It's not the joyless recovery that we've seen. And I'll talk about that some other time. But, prospects for that comeback is looking pretty bleak. But really, it's not as bad as it looks out there. It's just that everyone's on edge and everyone's spooked, and they don't have enough information to go on. And that can be maddening. You got money in the market, and it's doing all of that. Believe me, it's got your attention. And I'm looking at that board, and I'm going, huh? The last few days on the market have been historically unprecedented. You don't go up 5% and down 5% and up 5% and down 5% 4 days straight. It's never happened before, okay? It's called volatility. It means you act in an exaggerated manner to good news and in an exaggerated manner to bad news, even to rumor and innuendo and insinuation, okay? It's a market wide open to manipulation from all kinds of corners. I don't mean global conspiracy. I just mean unscrupulous people who've got money in a stock and have a stake in some other stock losing, and they spread a rumor and whoo! They don't care if the whole house tumbles down on everybody because they've decided they've got their little portfolio and that's safe. And there are people in a position to be able to do that. So watch out. And this is going to drag on until, this volatility will drag on until November, December, when this so-called super committee meets in Congress to finalize this budget and give Congress its recommendations, a so-called bipartisan committee. We already know that the people chosen to be on the committee don't get along. The word out of the White House is, they're whispering this, but they're letting it be known to the mainstream media that they don't expect it to end in anything but deadlock, so it won't even come to the floor. Now, if it came to the floor, it would just be a simple majority that would pass it. But everyone is expecting it to just deadlock in committee. Okay, just to deadlock in committee. That means the trigger will be implemented. How it will be implemented, I don't know. Whether Congress can sit on it for a time and quibble over it, I don't know. I just do know that in all likelihood, Moody's and Fitch will join S&P in a downgrade, and that downgrade will get increasingly more serious. Please understand, these credit rating agencies can downgrade whole states. Whole state governments can be downgraded overnight. Okay? Moody's has specifically named, I don't know, like 5 red states, all of them steeped in government contracts, all of them Republican states. The ruling class is coming after the Republican Party. I know that's hard to wrap your head around. I know it's hard to believe, but this is the reality. The teabaggers have these guys freaked out. It's a freaked out market. It's running on emotion. Now, Obama has gone out of his way, probably very shrewdly, to all but give away the store in terms of his own party and its concerns, okay? And even if he hasn't, that is the appearance of it, okay? Even if you hate Obama, believe me, he has convinced them that this is what he's done. And Republicans have not convinced anybody of anything except my way or the highway, all right? They want a budget, and they don't get a budget, or they don't get a budget in a timely fashion. They're going to look on that the same way as the default thing, a complete vote of lack of confidence in the government by instituting a more serious downgrade from S&P and the beginnings of a downgrade process from Moody's and Fitch. So we're going to go into 2012 with a huge bang, it looks like. But in all of that, Obama is going to be above the fray. He's going to be above both parties. He's going to be saying, can't we just get along? Okay? That's the role you want to play if you want to reach the middle. And reaching the middle is what it's all about in a presidential election. This guy wouldn't, in a normal political cycle, Obama wouldn't have a snowball's chance of re-election. But the Republican Party is in such disarray, this president can get not only re-elected, he can get the Congress he wants. And if he does, we're talking about the possibility of a real recovery, because he has had the fear of God put in him about the unemployment situation, and he knows there is no other issue. He knows that. I am disappointed that it took him so long to figure it out. I know the left is fed up with Obama. I am more patient with this whole situation, because what I see happening in the event of a trigger, and a trigger actually holding and working, is an American president who's going to slash defense along historic levels, unprecedented levels, and blame it on the other guy. He would never be able to get away with this if he just said, well, let's do this. What he's done is he's maneuvered these imbeciles into putting him in a position where he can put a budget wonk like Leon Panetta in charge of the DOD, and they can go on and on about, whoa, we don't want to endanger national security. Please don't make us cut this. Please don't make us cut it. We don't want to cut it. We don't want to cut it. And then the trigger sets in, and they cut it. This is a bloated, crazy, scary military-industrial complex. And the opportunity to pare it down is something I'm all for. And if he has to play games to get there, let him play games to get there. Well, I'm only concerned that it get done. I don't care if Obama gets mad and angry and shows passion in a speech. I care about action. I care about results. Okay? So be it. All right? And as far as worrying about Medicare and all of that, this stuff isn't going to be instituted until 2013. In the meantime, if he has the Congress he wants, he can revisit a lot of that. Okay? This is how it's done. In the end, he's going to have, like I said, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce will be eating out of his hands. They're so freaked out by the baggers. Sure, you're going to see on CNBC some CEO get up and talk like a bagger. You think he's in the same circles as the people I'm talking about? He's not. These people think globally. These people think in terms of the entire planet. Okay? That CEO you see on CNBC is just a quaint little throwback. The Republican Party has become expendable.